Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Figma review, and today I'm going to be looking at Figma number 310, and of course this is Saitama from One Punch Man. Once again, this video would not be possible if it wasn't for those awesome people over at Hobby Link Japan, so if you want one of these for yourself, then make sure to check out that link down there in the description. Now let's get to this. So first off, there is the front of the box, your standard Figma box with the window in the front, red on top, black on the bottom. There is the right hand side of the box, and there's that typical egg-headed version of Saitama. Flip that around to the left and it's the egg-headed version again. So if you haven't guessed so far, that is the version that this figure is focusing on. There is the back of the box now, and we can see there that it does come with a serious head, but again the focus seems to be on the joke version of Saitama, which I suppose is the one you see most of the time in the anime. But anyway, of course that's enough about the box. Let's bust this thing out and see what we've got. So first off, there is a very quick look at the clear inner packaging, and what we got is Saitama, the alternate head, a cup, folded arms, and down in the bottom as usual, those are the alternate hands, the base, and that Figma bag. So there is Figma Saitama finally out of the box, and the first thing that you'll notice, just like I said already, is that they went for the slouchy, lazy, softer version of Saitama, as opposed to that badass, serious version of Saitama, which kinda looks like the child of Waンパンマンand Ikaku from Bleach. You might be thinking at this point, hey Mecha, but it comes with a serious Saitama head. And yes it does, which I will get to later. But what I'm talking about is the overall vibe and the body in general. If you're looking for a serious version of Saitama, then turn away now. This Figma isn't for you. But if you love the slapstick humor of the non-serious Saitama, then friend, you're in the right place. Again, like I mentioned, this is the non-serious gag version of the character, with an overall soft-looking body, slouched and lacking any sort of manly definition. And from some angles, even looks a bit geriatric. And also, of course, there's that face. And I don't need to say anything about that, it speaks for itself. And just a quick bit of side info for you not in the know, but Saitama is basically a palette swap, and I mean literally a red-yellow swap of the popular Japanese children's character Waンパンマン. Even the short version of the anime manga's title,ワンパンマン, is a play on this, Wan being how Japanese people say one, Pan being short for punch, or Panchi, which is Japanglish for punch, and man is, well, man. And besides all of that sort of information, the figure itself looks fantastic. The colors are in that awesome Max Factory matte paint, the yellow looks great, the red looks great as well, and what really steals the show is the cape. This time around they went for one molded in plastic, which I think is a great idea, as opposed to something made out of cloth or something like that. So there's Figma Saitama with everything that he comes with. So what we get in here is a rack of hands, as well as those default fists which you've seen already. We've also got a pair of widespread open hands, a pair of relaxed open hands, two standard 9mm Figma holding hands. Saitama doesn't come with anything to hold, but that does mean he can hold other Figma's accessories. Last up then we have this open left hand, and that is for holding the cup of green tea. There is a closer look at that cup of green tea, and on it says Anti-Disaster Measures Hero Association. And also interestingly enough, the tea inside of that can come out. So that means you can display the cup full or empty. Next up then we have an alternate pair of arms which are crossed, and these just replace the default set of arms like this. Last up then, and to me, the most vestigial aspect of this figure is the alternate head. Why, you might be asking? Serious Saitama is badass, but the problem is, he is, but not with that body. The serious head on a joke body kinda just doesn't go together. Personally, part of me really hopes they'll make a full, serious Saitama figure, but I really feel that the One Punch Man ship might have sailed already. So this right here might be as close as you'll get. Okay, so now moving quickly onto the articulation, there's the head up and down, that can spin around there. There is the arm all the way up, of course that can rotate all the way around as well. There's the bend at the elbow. The wrist is exactly what you would expect from that Figma ball joint. Get that out of the way, and the ab crunch all the way to the back, to the front, side to side. There is the kick all the way up to the front, all the way around to the back, not much because of that flat pancake butt. And there are the legs all the way out, so he can pretty much do the splits, almost. Next then, there is that bend at the knee, pretty good. Ankle all the way down, all the way up. That can rotate all the way around if you wanted to. Side to side pivot. And lastly, there is the bend at the toes. And I almost completely forgot about the cape. As for the articulation on that, that can move up like that on both sides, up and out. Basically, it's two Figma joints in there, so you can move whatever way they will let it. There's some pivot there as well. So that can spread out, move slightly up like that, and let's stick it onto Saitama to take a closer look. The cape attaches onto the back here using the stand or this included clear peg. This one right here, so that just sticks through the hole on the back like that, and looks like that. So one more time now with the cape on, so it can move side to side like that, slightly but not too much. Move that around to the back there and you can see it attaches on with this peg, or by using the stand, and there's a split up the middle there, and these two parts are separate. So that is it for the review, and what can I say, this is another great little Figma. Not the best Figma has to offer, but definitely not the worst. The quality is on point, and the Max Factory matte paint looks fantastic as always. As for accessories, I would have liked to seen a few more gag items in here, as this figure leans towards Saitama's non-serious side. But at the end of the day, the biggest question is, does it pull off serious Saitama? The short answer is kinda. In the right pose, with the right angle and the right light, you can just about pull it off. But this figure right here, it leans mostly towards Saitama's silly side. So if you're looking for silly Saitama, this is 100% the figure for you. If you're looking for serious Saitama, then it's maybe 10 to 15% the figure for you. Most of the time, it just doesn't work out. But anyway, if you want one for yourself, then check out that link down there in the description. And as always, make sure to come back for more Figma reviews, and I'll see you next time.